Okay, going to jump right into it. Are you a morning person, an afternoon person, an evening person, or a night owl? Let me ask you, what do you think I am? If you've been following this channel any length of time, you already know the answer. Let's talk about this. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good evening. I'm all over the map with this today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Welcome to another episode on this channel, the Save Money More Jan channel. How you doing today? Hope everybody's doing well. In real time, right now, it is 7:01 a.m. Eastern. Okay? All right. Still kind of dark out. Getting there though, finally getting there. I don't know. I am a morning person. Now, some people get totally annoyed with morning people. They're like, la 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 la, everybody, jumping around, the birds are singing. Already, since I've been awake, okay, I wrote a show for next week, right? I put up from scratch a pot of chicken noodle soup from scratch. Yes, it's simmering. I love the smell of simmering soup on a chilly morning or downright cold morning. It was really cold here overnight. I didn't like it. Woke me up earlier than I should have been. So I'm already cooking. It is only 7:02. I mean, really? How many people do that out there? I'm just wondering how many of my listeners do that. Let me know in the comment section below. Something tells me that you do. And there were other things that I had to do, of course, make my bed, the usual stuff, clean up. Oh, I'm just saying. All right. But I'm a morning person. How am I in the afternoon? By 3 o'clock, literally, I need a nap. I'm not even kidding you. I literally need a nap about 3 o'clock. And why is that a problem, Jen? Well, it seems to me that seems to be the time everybody wants to talk. Hey, Jan, this. Hey, Jan, that. Oh, Jan, this. I have a question, Jan. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a morning person. I am not an afternoon person. But if I do take that like 15, 20-minute nap to cut the edge, it's very helpful. It is very, very helpful. So for me, I don't know about your lifestyle, but for me, I like to borrow some time, okay, sometime in the morning time to get things that I would be doing in the evening time over with more smoothly. Because by 5, 6 o'clock, I'm like, I'm just barely there. I really am. I still try to keep my eyelids open with the toothpicks and all that kind of stuff. But then after I have taken care of everything that I had to take care of, then let's say by 8, 9 o'clock, I'll say, let's watch some good stuff on YouTube. Because to be honest with you, the other stuff on the news and all that, it can drive people up the wall. So I have noticed something lately. I have noticed that a lot of my friends lately are having problems sleeping. They tell me, Jan, I'm like up all hours of the night. And I said, how come I am hearing that more often than not? How about anybody out there? Let me know in the comment section below if you've been noticing more people complaining about lack of sleep. Now, I don't know if it's an age thing. I'm pretty sure it could be a little age related because the older we get, the less sleep we need, right? But I'm also convinced and more bound to include that I think the stress of watching the local news, for sure, when you live here in New York, the local news that drive a person batty. The national news is not helping. All forms of news. That's why I'm thinking to myself, I should make it a point. Now, there's a show that I like to watch on on a certain network at 9 p.m. Very controversial show, right? And I like that network for a long time. But then it gets my wheels turning about like certain issues and whatever. That is not the way to try to unwind to go to sleep. No, 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 no. But anyway, I was just wondering if you're a morning person or not. Now, in the winter time, does that change for you? Do you feel like staying in bed longer, saying like, "Oh, I need more sleep"? Once in a while, I say, Jan, I'm going to give myself permission to sleep in a little longer. Well, for me, a late day of sleeping in is like 8, 8:30. That's a late day. But I know some people that I don't know. Some people just like it seems like they're like forever sleeping. Do you know anybody like that? I know this video is just about just having a casual conversation about are you a morning person or not. But I could tell you one thing. For myself, I do maximize my mornings to get things done. That is for me, my body clock, everybody's body clock is different. That is when I am at my optimal best. I slowly decline after 3 o'clock. I admit it. I'm like, oh, can't people leave me alone for 15, 20 minutes at 3 o'clock? It's like, so that's the time I have to give myself permission and I have to unplug. So that means I have to go, as I call it, off grid. I have to go off grid, shut off any remnant of a phone, because that's the time that I just want to like sleep, even if it's 15, 20 minutes. I couldn't believe it. The other day, I actually had some dream sleep, like at like in the middle of the afternoon. Like, wait a minute, Jen, that's telling you something. That means you're not getting enough sleep at night. But anyway, I don't even need to wear one of those trackers. You know, the trackers that tell you your quality of sleep. I can know my quality of sleep. There are nights that it's just so cold and it wakes me up. I cannot sleep when I'm feeling too cold. So I'll get an extra blanket or a dress and layers, and then of course that helps. Sometimes you just got to get up, make some hot chocolate, and then go back to bed. It's very helpful. It all depends on your situation. Let me see what else is going on. So what I wanted to mention before I forget, with all the stress that is going on in today's world, let's face it, very stressful. The moving of the news, or the news that is so moving so fast. To me, news is moving so quickly at a pace that's like unbelievable. I can't even believe that we are at the throes of the holiday season already. From like last holiday season to right now feels like a whirlwind. Anybody else feel that way? Let me know in the comments. That the last 12 months seem to have gone very, very quickly. But what I wanted to say is this: find your zone where you're at your optimal best, but also find not just work related stuff that brings you joy. Relax, find relaxation stuff. Okay. If there's like one of those great holiday movies coming up and you want to curl up on a weekend morning with your fuzzy slippers and kick back, that's a-okay. Think about it, like you work all week, right? So what's wrong with just saying, I'm going to give myself permission to kick back for 2 hours, even if you have to write it down, even if you have to pencil it in. That's all part of taking good care of yourself. How many times, I say that like constantly, take good care of yourself, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Pulling yourself away from, unplugging yourself away from the current news events is really helpful, because like I said, I noticed the pattern. Too many people that I know are saying, Jan, I could hardly sleep lately. I said, wow, because this is true story. I said, you're like the fourth person that said that to me in the last few days. True story. True story. So I say the best thing is dial it back. I'm happy sitting here right now with my little simmering, chicken noodle soup. It just smells so good. And it reminds me, I feel like a deep connection with the folks back in the day. I mean, they really, to me, they are our unsung heroes. You don't really hear much about, but we should learn, in my opinion, take a lot of their, they didn't give advice. They just they didn't complain. We complain. I complain. All of us at some point complain. It's just the way it is. Back in the day, they didn't have time to complain. They didn't have a chance to complain. Why? Because those folks were in and on the survival mode. They weren't worried about watching that controversial news show on a smart TV and plugging into social media. Am I right or am I right? No, they did not. They were like, okay, so what kind of a meal am I going to have or give my family, like for one or two ingredients? We need to consider, if we're talking about now de-stressing and saving money at the same time, because money matters can really stress people out. when money matters are not going in your direction, that will stress people out. And I think that's another reason why people are like lacking sleep and stuff like that. Okay. So if we could find joy in taking a nothing and creating a something, that pot of soup that I'm making right now is what I don't call it garbage soup, but I call it use up whatever you have in your refrigerator soup. And I love that because nothing goes to waste. And literally, in my case, I am regenerating a whole bunch of meals. And all I have to do during the week, if I want for lunch, if that's what I want for lunch, heat it up, get some crackers. That's what they did back in the day. Like water-based meals were huge. And there are so many awesome videos. There was one video I wish I remember the name. I don't remember the channel name, but I remember the title somewhat. Basically, you could like just type it in about 30 different styles of soup from the Depression era, 30. So it gives you 30 different things that the folks did back in the day. If I ever find that video, I'd be more than happy to share it on my community tab, or if I find it between now and the next time that this video uploads, then I will hopefully share it in the description. If you don't see it in the description, take a moment and look for yourself. If you're ever unsure as to how to apply yourself and save a bunch of money in 2025, going into 2026, take a lot of lessons from back then. Not only did the folks end up surviving, they also ended up thriving. And they are a good reminder that even though things may seem like really yucko at moments of time in life, there was always that little glimmer of hope. Okay. And it's amazing. All right, everybody. Thank you so very much for being here, whether you're a morning person or not. But speaking of the morning, I am on this channel every single day, brand new upload when 5 a.m. What day of the week? Every single day of the week, which means Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You see where I'm going with this. I am like a spinning top and I will not stop. So there. Take good care of yourself and your amazing family. And as always, super thanks are forever appreciated. Thank you.